Yo, what's good, people? You know who it is. It's your boy Hustle 88, and welcome to the channel. If you haven't viewed my channel, if you haven't even watched my channels, if you don't want to view my channels, then you need to get off my channel. Period. You don't deserve to be on YouTube. But nah, I'm joking. But anyway, this is your boy Hustle 88, and welcome to the channel. Today, I want to talk about is a video response to Hip Hop Gamer, where he pretty much in the video he pretty much talked about, is there any video game journalists in the video game industry, and is there any black journalists in the video game industry. You rarely see that in the video game industry. There's a few minorities in the video game industry that are black, and you can rarely see that. Pretty much in this video, he talked about his experience of being criticized as a video game journalist. And he's like, some events he been criticized for the way he carried himself as a person, his personality, his swag. And pretty much as minorities, we are being stereotyped, but at the end of the day, we can overcome that stereotype. We can overcome that racism based on the perception that we can be able to have faith, and not just have faith to see it, but have faith to believe. And faith without works is dead. So we have to have faith in what we believe in. So without that faith, it's impossible to become who we are as a person. And Hip Hop Gamer, I haven't met him personally, and I'm not a video game journalist, but I have to speak this from the heart. And based on the way he expressed himself as a person, the way he carried himself as a person, I can tell that he's very genuine. He's very passionate about video games. He's very passionate about discussing about video games, because he's a person that more aggressive towards his act of voicing this opinion about certain things that's good or either bad. Personally, he's a journalist, and journalists, they have to critique on what's good and what's bad in terms of the video games that's coming out and the upcoming games in the gaming industry. And Hip Hop Gamer pretty much mentioned about racism in the video game industry. You know, if you wear a do-rag or you wear something that's baggy, they're gonna look at you like you're a bad person, like you don't deserve to be a video game journalist. You don't deserve to be a person that's successful. You deserve to be a person that's a bad person, a criminal. You deserve to be a criminal. But if a person that's clean, that's cut, that's professional, that looks professional, they're gonna accept him as, oh well, he's doing pretty good. He's really a professional. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he want to talk about. He's passionate about it. But just because a person looks a certain way doesn't necessarily mean that he's a bad person, that he's projected as a person that's evil, or a person that's not good, or a person that doesn't have the urgency to achieve the dream. But anyway, journalism takes a lot of work. I haven't been a journalist before, but I would someday become a video game journalist. But I gotta find some way. I gotta find a route to get there. Pretty much. I mean, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of education to be a video game journalist. You have to learn how to write. You have to learn how to articulate what you're writing about. And a minority exists in the video game industry. You rarely see that. I'm not saying that a lot of minorities in the video games industry have been criticized. I've been hearing that, shout out to Malik Foreplay. I subscribe to this channel, and I also subscribe to Chris Kazama. Those two guys have a lot of great personalities in terms of, presenting their content in a way that would appeal to the audience, that would appeal to YouTubers. And, pretty much Chris Kazama he's a video game journalist. He hasn't been criticized lately. Malik Foreplay hasn't been criticized lately. Crumb Girl 711, you need to subscribe to her channel because you know she's a video game journalist. She critique, you know, a lot of good things and a lot of bad things in the video game industry. But there's a really minority in the video game industry, and you know, you have a lot of white people in it. I wonder why there's a lot of white people in the video game industry more than the blacks. Maybe because they can fit in a lot easier because the way they present themselves, the way they articulate, the way they rationalize themselves as a person, you know, as black minorities in terms of, you know, going to like different business outlets, you know, the video game industry, the clothing industry, whatever you want, they're gonna look at them like they are not educated, they're uneducated, they can't articulate as well. But at the end of the day, we got to prove to the people that say that we can't do it, we have to prove to them that we can do it, we can be successful. But we got to put our minds into it, we got to put work into it. The more work you put into it, the more we're going to prove them wrong. And we experience that in today's age. Racism still exists unto this day because you know racism has not been put to death yet because you know we experience that every day pretty much in the United States, not just in the United States, probably in other countries. We've been stereotyped, we've been criticized, but at the end of the day, we can't allow that criticism to go into our hearts and inherit it and make us a vast majorities of not becoming successful in life. You know, you have a lot of black minorities in today's age that's more popular. You have LeBron James, you have who else you got? I can't think off the top of my head. Uh, Barack Obama. You know, they was saying that Barack Obama should not be the black president of the United States. He's the very first black president of the United States, and he's very articulate. He's very smart. He knows what he does. I don't know everything about politics, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Um, just leave your thoughts, comments, subscribe, and there's a link at the bottom. I'm gonna post a link at the bottom of the description. And Hip Hop Gamer pretty much responded to a post at NeoGaf, and you rarely can see that in the video game industry. You rarely see a minority. You rarely see blacks. You see Hispanics. You see a lot of Asian people, but you don't see a lot of blacks. You see a very few Asians, very few Hispanics, but not a lot of blacks. But a lot of whites, pretty much. A lot of white people. There's a lot of white people, but at the end of the day, we have to come as one union because union equates to something that's big, and we have to voice our opinions at the end of the day. If we don't voice our opinions on certain subjects and certain opinions, I read it a blog. It was a thread actually, not a blog, but a thread. Um, it was one comment. It was one of the comments about Hip Hop Gamer. They were saying that he was a joke, that he's the hype man. He doesn't consider himself a journalist. But at the end of the day, people gonna talk whatever they want to talk. But Hip Hop Gamer to me, like if I had met him personally, like he would be a good person to hang around with, to talk around, to communicate with. Um, you can tell he has that great personality based on the way he expressed himself. He talked about love in his video, and you can tell that he's really at the end of the day. But I haven't met him personally, but maybe one day I'll meet him. But yeah, just tell me what you think about this video. Leave your thoughts, comments, like, subscribe, and I'm out. Deuces, peace, salute, God bless.